that one.
So what are you researching over there?
Bianca Censori.
Don't say bold with it. You wouldn't go lie.
Listen, I'm not gonna lie about it. Listen, I want to see what the hype is about. I mean,
what hype exactly are we talking about?
we're talking
here?
about why is her last name really Censori? Like sensory?
Is that what it was?
Yeah, absolutely.
Is that what we've been talking about?
Research purposes only. What are you talking about? You ain't gonna get me. Like, listen, I just want to find out the origin of the name. Hey, listen, what's going on, Breeze Nation?
Breeze Nation, what's good? It's your boy Pat the Signing back at it again. Ladies and gentlemen, we got the squad in the building. Yeah. Hey, man, the pettiest man alive, Mr. P Kid, always staying tuned in with us. And I don't know what's going on. We got a Mr. Meaty double cap back there.
Big cap.
Big cap. Uh-oh.
Capper.
CAP. That is on the soundboard. I don't know where it's at, though. But
CAP.
Yep. No, Mr.
Right.
Meaty in the building. And we got a lot to get into on today. Oh, Jordan JC, his real name. I'm so used to calling him Meaty.
It's Big Cap now.
we didn't have so many names, yeah.
Listen, a lot to get into on today's episode. We got some ramp ups at training camp today that we can be excited about. But the main conversation, the bulk of what today's episode is going to be talking about, is this roster set, or do we need to see the Bears add more? And maybe what Ryan Poles and this team thinks about some of the moves that may need to be made. All that and more in today's episode of the Windy City Breeze Sports Talk Daily. Hit that like button, subscribe to the page, leave a 5-star review. Y'all know what to do.
Yep.
What's going on, boys? Everybody good?
Hey, man, listen.
Everybody good?
Amazing.
I'm waiting for this new episode of Hard Knocks.
Yeah, we got nice knocks on the way.
Nice knocks.
Coming out tonight. Yep. Coming out tonight.
What time, bro? I'm hearing like 3 different times out here. I saw 7 o'clock.
Immediately after the show.
I saw AP. I thought it was immediately after the show. I was fully planning to watch it here and then do my show, because we're doing a post Hard Knocks show. Yeah. On ESPN 1000 YouTube and Twitch channels, to tap in with us over there as well. So I was waiting on that, and I was like, "Well, I'll just
post game to a reality series."
I'll tell you this right now: you don't know how big the Bears are.
Well, apparently not.
Hey, I think live we had like 1,600 people in there. Live. No, what was the number? We had 2,300 people in there live. Between YouTube and Twitch.
Whoa,
we had 2,300 people in there live watching that.
Wow.
Hey, listen, I just want the Breeze Nation to know I'm officially and have officially been a Bears fan for the last 15 years. So everything Bears that's what we're gonna do right now. I'm about to go buy about to go burn my Fields jersey.
No, we don't gotta burn the jersey. The Fields jersey. Don't burn it. You've been.
I'm using it as a wash rag. Don't worry about it.
Whatever.
Hey, listen, my Benz needs to be clean.
This is the problem. This is how you know he's not really a Bears fan, because every real Bears fan has a jersey that they just nah. It's a Bears jersey. I'm going to still wear it, but
still rock it.
I don't like the player at all.
No, I get a Hester jersey. I get an Urlacher jersey. Heck, I could do one of those.
Hey, bro, we saw a Mitch jersey in the wild today.
I think
at training camp. That's nuts.
SWAT, I think, says 9 Eastern time
9
is
Eastern?
the official time.
I can see that.
Maybe,
yeah,
maybe.
I thought so. I saw 8 Central, so 9 Eastern would make sense. That's the one thing that I've been seeing. But hey, man, let's jump into today's episode, man. Let's start it off here. Conversation around Mr. Nate Davis. Nate Davis returned back to practice today, was a full participant at practice. And my response to that is, of course he was. There was no pads. It was half-speed work. And it makes so much sense that he was fully back out there at practice. But I guess good to see him getting some cohesion in. My question on this, though, we see Nate Davis come back in a shells practice. You're getting work in with the ones. But after seeing what you saw on Saturday, is that the best option for this Bears team protecting Caleb Williams moving forward? I do believe that Nate Davis is the best right guard on this team, talent-wise.
Yeah.
But, and that affords you a lot. But there was a lot of good cohesion with that offensive line that I was not expecting. By the way, at training camp today, right back to normal. I mean, there was false starts all over the place. They're installing new stuff, I guess.
Was that because Nate Davis returned, though?
He was starting.
No, there wasn't a false start on Nate Davis. There was there was one on Braxton. There was one on Tevin. So Nate didn't get the false start, at least on the side that I saw. But I mean, like, Nate Davis back in the lineup. but you saw some good play from this offensive line overall.
Yeah.
Hey, listen, I love Nate Day-to-Day Davis, but at this point, he's day-to-day, and at this point, we need cohesion, like you said, big word, cohesion.
Yeah.
We're gonna put that on the soundboard too, because I don't know how to spell that one.
It's not even difficult. Like, that's just bad.
Listen, you trying to talk about me? I had a disability here. All right.
What? Stupid as heck?
What?
Anyway,
we went to the same high school, bro.
Anyway,
cohesion.
Hey, listen. Don't judge me here. I'm very intelligent. No, seriously, all seriousness. And by the way, no offense to anyone who actually has a disability. But shut up, Pat. Shut it up. We're moving forward here. I'm never going to be on radio due to this guy. I'm never going to make it. I'm never going to make it.
Don't blame me. That's why you shouldn't have the sugar.
This is why I shouldn't have the sugar. No, but in all sincerity, though, cohesion is a big thing. Caleb looked well. That line looked well with him and things of that nature. So I don't see this being one of those situations where, you even take the risk. He hasn't been reliable. I can only see him being a detriment to this. Let the team that's out there has spent the time, been prepared. Let them go ahead and continue to jail. Nate Day-to-Day Davis, go home. Be day-to-day.
Nate Day-to-Day Davis, huh? Yeah, no, I'm with you. I mean, after what I saw in the second preseason game, I'm a little bit more confident with the line that we had out there with Ryan Bates. I believe Ryan Bates didn't practice today, but
that was Matt Pryor out there. It wasn't Ryan Bates. It was Matt Pryor.
Matt Pryor was out with the starting. Okay,
Yeah.
my fault. Then, hey, even better. You're talking about guys that aren't necessarily going to be the starters that look, like you said, competent and cohesive in that game and in a short amount of time. But I'm more impressed with that than I am him returning. Like, if he puts a few practices together and then they get the pads on, then okay, all right, fine. He is our most talented right guard. Of course, that is the truth. But the fact is, you got to stay out there. Availability is the best ability.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. I think listen, the Bears are clearly going to give every opportunity to the guys that they have paid, the guys that they have drafted, to go out there and make a team and be legitimate, right? They're going to give them every opportunity because they don't want to waste what they've invested in that person. But at the end of the day, I do have concerns with it. Although, listen, maybe my concerns are just not valid because, like I said, I talked all week about how concerned I was about that offensive line, and
they look good.
It didn't matter. Yeah, I mean, like, so, and I asked Braxton Jones this today when we were in the press conference. I said,
real quick, Peck, I'm sorry. We got 100 in the chat.
Oh, 100 in the chat.
I can't do mine.
You can't.
There you
I
go.
can do
There
the
you go.
one pump.
There
The one pump.
All
All
right,
right.
one pump. There you go. Slow.
I hate that it's become such a staple of it that it felt wrong.
Not to
Without
do it.
him doing it.
You all were looking at me like, is he going to do it?
It's like, we got to get one good one in there. Okay, all right.
But no, I feel like my concerns, while I do think the concerns are valid around Nate Davis and stuff like that, right? Like, we saw these guys be able to step in and make the play. And I asked Braxton Jones today, were you guys able to basically come in and be cohesive because the defense that you're going against is much tougher here than what you saw out there versus Buffalo? Or is it just, that you can kind of flip the switch and turn it on? And he kind of, his answer that he gave was basically that you would like that continuity. You would like to have those five guys out there. You would like to continuously have the same names out there. But at the end of the day, when it comes to operation and stuff like that, when it's game time, you got to focus in, and you're focused on less. You're focused on specifically whatever the next play is. You have more than like we saw the first quarter. You've practiced that script.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, that is your script. This is what you're coming out your first 15 plays. Now, we saw them get off of the first 15, so a little bit off of the script, and the offensive line still looks good. But to me, like, the conversation around, do guys need to be in there versus do they not? Maybe this Bears team is just saying, like, we know how to roll with the punches, and we're able to adjust to that, because that's what we saw from the offensive line out there. Now, again, very vanilla defense. There's no Ed Oliver. That makes a big difference.
Yeah.
Ed Oliver, one of the best pass rushers in the NFL.
True.
It makes a big difference. But I just think that, all of the swapping around and stuff like that, while it is a major concern to me, I guess until it needs to be a concern, I'm not as concerned with it, because I'm telling you, we got back to practice today, and I don't know whether they were installing new stuff or not, but like, same things. False starts, trying to get stuff going. once the play's running, everybody looks fine. But, like, and I think it is kind of what Braxton said. When you're game planning for somebody, it makes more of a difference than, like, they're just going out there. They just playing.
They just playing. Okay.
You know what I mean? They're installing new stuff, but they're not sitting there.
Because we're not going to see the Bengals in the season. We see them in preseason. We're not going to see them throughout.
Well, they'll probably game plan.
You're right. Yeah.
I mean, like, going into the game, that's a whole different thing. I don't know who's going to play or who's not. In the joint practice, I think that is where you'll see them really try and, like, scrimmage some stuff. But even then, it's still a practice. They don't really game plan those. They're not trying to see what the other defense is doing and calling a play specifically to counter that. I think that also goes into what we saw, right? In that Buffalo game, Shane Waldron being where Shane Waldron was elite to me was the fact that whatever Buffalo called, he had an answer for defensively or offensively. You know what I mean? So, like, those are the things that you want to see your OC be able to do, and that's how you put guys in good positions to be successful. I think that we saw that as well. So while I would love to see Nate Davis out there consistently, I'm kind of done losing my mind on this offensive line unless they go out there and get their head kicked in.
Yeah, I'm kind of done talking about it. I mean, at this point, I'm preparing for a future without him, and I know that
for sure.
Yeah, and I think that's the only way. And the reality of it is, I know he's a $10 million hit, this, that, and the other.
Yeah,
but you got to think about it. The continuity and the cohesion, as we've been kind of harping on, it's more important than him. Realistically, it's more important than that. And so I'm kind of just past that. What else? Who else is going to step up? Who else is going to be the mainstay? And that's honestly, if you're that next guy up, this is your opportunity. Like, this is your opportunity to get that dollar, get that contract, and get that money that Nate Davis is passing up on. Because Nate Davis had a future if he showed up.
Yeah,
he didn't show up. So it is what it is. This is your opportunity to kind of shine. And so I'm looking at that. But there's some other people that came back today.
Yeah, I mean, listen, we got Montez Sweat ramping up. We've got Kyler Gordon ramping up. We've got DJ Moore. We've got Tyreek Stevenson ramping up, right? Like, so you're starting to see some guys come back in and do individual stuff, but it's good to see them getting back together. I wouldn't be surprised if we see the Bears try and put them out there versus the Bengals for this joint practice, probably for this preseason game, because this is some of the best work that you're going to get over the next couple of days. I believe there's supposed to be pads on tomorrow as well, so 2 padded practices. There were shells today. There'll probably be a padded practice tomorrow. I would assume a padded practice on Thursday as well, which is a late practice. That's like a 1 o'clock practice, bro.
They normally don't practice on Thursday before.
Well, they practiced Thursday last week, but the game is on Saturday.
It's late, though.
Yeah.
It's like, it's real late, ain't it?
Yeah. Not really.
I mean, it's only a day in between, a day and a half in between, really.
I mean, that's normal, because normally you play the game Sunday, you don't practice Monday, you practice Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday.
And then you play Sunday.
You practice Tuesday, Wednesday. Usually there's an off day in between
it's
there.
Like a walk.
And then you'll practice Thursday and walk through Friday.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Hey, shout out to V-Dog. This is actually someone that I was thinking about as well. Not Nate Davis. I'm sorry. Nope, wrong showing. Well, that is a super chat.
Shout out to the super chat. Samurai J in the building. Hey, Pat, you should do a smooth jazz sax instead of the air horn in the morning. Nah, bro, you getting this air horn. Wake up.
He said
he's got to be a little bit more annoying than that.
Your alarm clock.
Yeah. Wake up.
Get up.
I ain't worried about that.
No, but what I was trying to show is V-Dog. He also mentioned that Kieran Amagachi is also back, or at least he's ahead of schedule. That's another name that I like.
Shout out to Herb. Yeah. So Herb saw Kieran in a jersey. He was running.
Yeah.
Which in theory means he is ramping up. He's doing more than we saw.
Good. But he's not back.
During practice, he was in a t-shirt.
Oh.
So, but Herb's listen, if Herb went about the business of tweeting it out, I believe that he saw him in his jersey doing something. But this was ahead of practice. This was solo. I literally talked to him. I was like, where's Karan? I thought you said he was ramping up. He was like, he over there in the t-shirt. We ain't gonna talk about that right now. But But I mean, listen, even still, the fact that he's in the jersey and that you saw him out there running, I mean, that's something we haven't seen Karan do anything. Karan don't even stretch. Like he don't. Like he doesn't stretch. He walks around during during the stretching period, points at guys, talks to them, laughs with them, all of that stuff. Yeah. So I mean, like there's time for Karan to come back, but it wasn't today. During practice, we saw Montez, we saw Tyreek, we saw Kyler, who, I mean, listen, we haven't seen Kyler in 4 weeks, basically.
Yeah, gotta get him back. Yep.
You know what I mean? We haven't seen Kyler in 4 weeks, so I think that is seeing him back out there and knowing what's coming this week. I wouldn't be surprised if we try and see a little bit more from the Bears this week to push them to be out there, because this is going to be a valuable week for you. Last year in Indy, there was about a 20-minute scrimmage, which is basically a portion of a game where you've got ones-on-ones. You got the number one defense going up against the number one offense, right? Like you're getting good work in this joint practices. So I think that is something that the Bears really want to be able to utilize this year, and hopefully they find some value in it. Now, what I will say about this is, and I'll pose this question to y'all, do we see the starters, now that we already know that the Bengals are not playing their starters in this game?
That's such a great question.
Well, I mean, here's my thing. I want to see more of the first string regardless. But I mean, if we're not playing Joe Burrow and those guys, then no, you don't want to risk injury against second string and third stringers that are probably going to be playing way more aggressive, looking to get on another team or showcase their skills. So from that aspect, like when we talked about in the Hall of Fame game, you don't want to put your guys out there for any sort of like
I ain't want to put the
random
Muzz
injury
out there because freaking
that
field was horrible.
Oh yeah, it was slip and slide.
That's why.
You're right.
Like I felt better about not putting Muggs out there once I saw people slipping and sliding out there, like Caleb Williams on episode 1 of Hard Knocks.
I have an interesting thought on this. Bill Belichick was asked a similar question about preseason and especially rookies. And one of his answers is really depends on a player. But for rookies, he will want them to get out there, see different looks, because you can't replicate game speed in practice. You can't replicate, different rushes, different looks and things of that nature. And you get accustomed to your own guy. So it's good for him to have those things, get those looks and stuff like that. And so I would want Caleb to be able to just do something, get out there, get those different looks, get that experience, and then, ramp up. We know he's going to be a stud. But I'm also on the fence of it because just hearing about JJ McCarthy, by the way, seeing that he had a torn meniscus after his preseason game.
Yeah.
I mean, the kid went out there, looked good, put up good tape, right? You thought he was going to have a decent season, rolling into the regular season. I mean, he might be out for a few weeks, and Sam Darnold might be taking his starting job. I don't want Caleb in that situation.
That's true.
I didn't see him take any real hard hits and stuff like that. It was one of those freak things. It was a torn meniscus. It was weird.
I think it's still in the phase of if it's going to be a long term or a short term thing.
They haven't said that.
Yeah, it's still up in the air. So.
But even still, I don't want him in that situation. But it's like you almost can't avoid that. It's football. Like if it's gonna happen, it's gonna happen almost type situation.
And I think here's my thing with this. And you said something that to me is a very different mindset than how I would view it. You talked about how I don't want to see Caleb out there with mugs that are trying extra hard to make a team.
Yeah.
I would rather see that, because guess what? When you go up against the Tennessee Titans, you're going to have Muggs trying extra hard to take his head off. When you go up against the Green Bay Packers, you're going to have Muggs trying extra hard to take his head off. When you go up against the Vikings, it's the NFL. So, yeah, I almost want to see you go up against those guys who are the try-hard guys. Now, if it gets a little bit too, we all know, right? When it gets too extracurricular, what Tevin got a hit. I love Tevin first play of last week, right? It was a little late shot. Tevin just ready to hit somebody. It wasn't super late. It was like he threw it and he was like, "All right, get out of here." He was like, "Hey, bro, don't touch my quarterback, bro. I'll take your head. Wait a minute.
I'm gonna pose my wheel.
That's still the wildest thing. I gotta ask you about that one day. Like, so when you got here,
what do you mean by that?
You said you were gonna force your will on another man and make him do what you wanted him to do.
Oh no!
What you mean?
And you didn't care if he wanted you to stop or not. Like, what does that mean? What's going on there?
Just to see. Listen,
I'm gonna just play it for him. I'm gonna just be like, you remember saying this? What was going on with that? This is you. In glasses.
Hey, listen,
glad you found contact.
All did he.
But no, I just like, to me, I think there's a value in one, Caleb Williams taking snaps. I think that there is a value in Caleb Williams working with whatever the starting five on the offensive line is out there. And I think that there's a value in Caleb Williams going out there and continuing to be successful. Now, I love everybody in the chat. What? It's like, guys, y'all go back and watch Tevin Jenkins' interest in our draft interview. That's all I'm gonna say.
His first draft.
That's all I'm gonna say.
Wild.
Y'all
bro.
go back and watch Tevin Jenkins' draft interview. Look at everybody. Look at everybody in the chat just confused. Y'all don't remember that.
Hey,
We've been in these trenches for a while.
We did not make this up, dog. We did not make this up. That was his draft interview. He said that he stumbled through it. He stumbled through it too. He knew it was a pause-worthy moment. Yeah. You could tell he
pause
knew.
Wasn't even a thing yet, though. Yeah, it hadn't come back.
Yeah, you're right.
I mean, pause, we all played the pause game, but
was it 2 years?
but oh no, I was in COVID.
Yeah.
Oh, pause
that was in COVID.
The thing.
Pause wasn't really a thing yet.
He might have kicked it off. You don't know.
Well,
but no, I think that like the mindset of I would rather not send Caleb Williams out there because there are people that are going to try and hurt him. Then don't play him during the season. Because there's people out there that are going to try and hurt him.
He's the first overall.
And I don't mean hurt like injure. I mean like I'm trying to hit the quarterback. I'm trying to take this guy out. I know you got to play the safe game, but that's what you're going to face. You might as well prepare for it.
I agree with that. I mean, he's the first overall. You can't protect him. He has a target on his back no matter what. No matter what, he has a target. Everyone's going to want to step up and prove themselves against the first overall draft pick, supposed to be the savior of one of the best franchises. Everyone wants to make their name against that guy. It just is what it is. So I agree, but you also don't want to risk him in some unnecessary game too. Like if he's going to be in a regular season, that's what we got you here for.
But see,
preseason, I didn't get you here for preseason.
Yeah,
you know
but see, even that, right? An unnecessary game. To me, it's a necessary game because you're getting him valuable reps he's not going to get. And it's like, to me,
darn if you do.
You're sitting there saying the training isn't valuable, but when you get on the field in a real game situation, you need to know what the heck what you're doing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The training is valuable. And so to me, like, I think that this game, even if the Bills don't play their one, and I think here's my thing too. I'm sorry, not the Bills. Even if the Bengals don't play their ones, there's value in just seeing guys on the other side who have an ability to hit you, and you have to be able to make decisions. Now, are we going to sit there and go, well, I mean, yeah, like if Caleb Williams has another day like he did, but they complete all it, right? 6 for 7, and it's 115 yards in a quarter, and we sit there, oh my God, here we go. Like, are we going to sit there and go, but it's against the twos? Yeah.
Right.
But that's okay because he's getting that moment that you can't get anywhere else. Because even in this joint practice, you can't hit the quarterback.
Yeah, you can.
But he still needs to be.
You touch that red shirt, you're going down.
Yeah. No, I actually totally agree. I think that the fact that and this goes back to even the previous game. One thing that I feel like is on Caleb too is to make sure that he's aware of what's going on around him. You saw on multiple occasions when he left the pocket. There were times when I believe he was going to block, but then he kind of just stood straight up and just kind of avoided the oncoming defender. Like it looked like he was might have put a block up, but then he was like, you know what, for my own health, let me just stand straight up. Yeah. So I think there's a little bit of that on him as well. You know, it's a two-way thing, but you just want to make sure everybody goes into the season as healthy as possible, especially QB1.
Can we also just lean into the fact that Zach may not be playing his starters? They need to. They've done that before. We do remember when they didn't play, their whole offensive line that they bought.
Yeah, but the offensive line was horrible no matter what.
But the
offensive line was also horrible through the season.
The excuse was, they didn't play preseason. They were just ramping up, and when they finally got into form,
we were in like week 8, and them started like blocking a little bit better.
Oh yeah,
like it was just a bad offensive line.
But they blamed a lot of it on we didn't have everybody. People weren't healthy. They didn't play preseason because Zach didn't want to play. I don't know if it was Zach at the time. Yeah, I think it was Zach at the time, right? Was it
Zach Taylor?
Yeah.
That was a coach.
So. Like, they need to. So you can tell the teams that roll into the season prepared, most of them have played their ones in preseason. The Chiefs are going to play their ones in preseason.
But I think here's the thing too, though, right? Like, I don't think the Chiefs playing nobody in preseason. They'll play them this week. They're not playing them against us. They won't play them in week 4. But no, like to me, there's a. The Bengals have also been to a Super Bowl and an AFC title game while Joe Burrow's been healthy. And while the offensive line has held him up for the most. Like the 2 seasons Joe Burrow's been healthy, They've gone to the Super Bowl and the game before the Super Bowl. You haven't been to the playoffs since the double doink. You haven't won a playoff game since Jay Cutler.
Oh boy.
Like you don't have the same leeway that other teams have to say we can and can't do this.
Wait, how long he been retired?
Who, Jay?
Yeah, it's been a minute.
That man came back, was an analyst, and
he came back. He came back with the Dolphins, so he was like 2015. It's about 9 years.
Oh Lord,
Jesus.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the playoff game you went to was in 11.
3 quarterbacks ago.
Yeah, 2011.
Three different regimes.
Yep.
3 different regimes.
Last time you had a starting center, you went to the Super Bowl. I'll do it with that information what you will. Shout out Olin Kreutz. But no, like my big thing with all of this is, like we live in a different era. And I talked to Tom Waddle about this today because we were walking towards the facility. And I was like, was Ditka like, I know he played in a different era and all that, but I was like, was Ditka like talking with other coaches during preseason? He was like, heck no. He's like, preseason meant something. Like it wasn't like it meant something as a game, but you used it to prepare yourself. So you went into it like it was a game. Yeah. Flus is talking with Zach Taylor. He's talking with why am I blanking on the Bills head coach's name?
Oh my goodness,
Jesus.
Y'all the worst people to have around.
Not McDermott.
Sean McDermott.
Oh yeah.
He had Sean, you had McDermott.
Like,
you talked with or he's talking with Sean McDermott, right? The reason that you see a single high that turns into a two-man is because Flus is like, I want to show disguised coverages. I can't tell you the last time I saw disguised coverages in a preseason game. Mugs they just be like, yeah, we go out there, we play some defense, we get the heck off the field, everybody stay alive.
Yeah, very vanilla.
You know what I mean? I can't tell you the last time I saw disguised coverages in a preseason game. So, to me, the fact that they're working together, I don't think that he will put his starters out there. I do think that that's the wrong call because you're not the Bengals.
You're not the Bengals.
You don't have. I mean, maybe you can build into being the Bengals. You got the pieces for it.
Maybe you have the quarterback. Maybe you have the receivers, but we don't definitively have it yet. We don't know yet.
Yeah, I didn't think about that. That's actually a good point because all those guys over there are experienced. Joe Burrow's been in the league and he's already made a name for himself. I mean, they don't necessarily have to, do this. I mean,
Slim Shady.
I mean, yeah. Who else do we call
telling y'all, Cody Rhodes.
I was about to say, the WWE stuff. We call him
yeah.
Cody Rhodes too. American Nightmare. But
I'm not getting shady from that. Like it's just
white,
of the hair. White and bleach just don't mean shady.
I don't watch wrestling, so I would never make the connection.
No, the American Nightmare.
No, but I just seriously think that it's time now to utilize, like you said back in the day. This is the ramp up period. Like we don't want to continuously sit these guys out. You want to learn from your mistakes, again, as we said, from the previous regime in the previous year, and put these guys out there. You don't want them to get hurt, but again, that's part of the game. Go out there, get a little bit more experience, and get ready for week 1.
Yeah, we'll see, man. We'll see. I think that it's I don't know. I don't like the fact that we're probably not going to play guys. That doesn't sit right with me, but we'll see what the Bears end up doing, man. Hey, appreciate y'all for tuning in, showing love. Hit that like button, subscribe to the page, leave a 5-star review. Y'all know what to do. We are prepping for Hard Knocks. Hard Knocks apparently is live at 8, so I may be going home to watch this, which is even better. Because I was going to just stay here in the studio and do the show, but I may be heading to the crib to watch this. But let's keep this thing moving along, man, because I got a question for the chat. When it comes to additions or not, we talked yesterday about the possibility of going out and trading for Hassan Reddick. There's been conversations on multiple teams that have called about Matthew Judon. We don't know whether the Chicago Bears are one of them or not, but multiple teams, they seem very connected. In Albert Breer's report, they said that the Bears should keep an eye on them. Most of these muds don't just do that for no reason. I know a lot of people think that, but usually if certain stuff is being put out there, it's because one team or another has said, oh, we would love to trade with this team, or we would love to do something with this team. You get to see all those small little things now. It's kind of shady on the other side. I'm not gonna lie to you, though. You gotta watch
really.
But put this out. But What the heck is that? I can't even see it.
I don't know what's going on.
This
What
might-
are you sliding
I'm just
over there?
uncomfortable.
You should talk about this. On the next
But that was uncomfortable.
no one can see it, but
Nobody can see it.
I
What
didn't know-
made me
I don't know
uncomfortable.
what's
It's just a
going on.
thumb going across.
That's
But
weird.
are the Bears done? Is this team set? We sit here and talk about trades. We sit here and talk about all this stuff that they could add to this team. But then you get Austin Booker, who goes out there and has a 2.5 sack day. You get a young man like Dominique Robinson, who I was a little bit. For me, Saturday was validation for Dom Rob because Dom Rob has had a great training camp. He's been in the backfield all day, but we literally just kept going, well, the offensive line has been very mid. So, of course, Dom Rob's in the backfield. You know what I mean? That's what happens when you got a bad offensive line going out there. And then you see Dom Rob on the first play be able to get into the backfield, stop the run, be able to create pressure, be able to set an edge. I mean, like, do you feel like this team is set heading into the season? And, of course, there are going to be, you know what I mean, ups and downs. There's going to be certain players that are still going to be added. There's going to be certain things that as we continue through camp are going to still pop up, and you may want to add a piece here or there, especially when camp cuts come in.
Yeah.
But I think that Ryan Poles is okay going into the season with this team just the way it is.
I think he is, and I think he should be. Well, we're in a much different situation before. I think it's funny. We've had this conversation before. Are we gonna roll into the season with these same guys? I think more than ever, in recent history, we feel more comfortable with. We should feel more comfortable with this roster, this group of guys. If nothing else changes, rolling in, and there's no reason to get crazy. If something comes available, obviously, if a big name comes, Matthew Judon, if there's real truth to the Matt Judon thing, of course you make the move. If there's a real thing with the Hassan Reddick thing, of course you make the move. But we don't need to go out there and be thirsty. Like we have enough here to say, hey, let's build, let's develop, and no one would bat an eye. And I feel comfortable saying that. We're not in desperate need to fix something as we were. Unfortunately with Justin, we had some situations where maybe we really did need certain pieces. We're not in that. Pose has done a great job constructing this roster. Now we just got to see some people develop and see how it works out. But I'm comfortable living with this roster.
Yeah. I like what some of the people are saying in the chat. I see AJ Myers just saying he'd rather make the Bears make a midseason move because today's problems may not be tomorrow's. It's a good point. I see a lot of people saying Judon. Of course, we talked about Hassan Reddick. Yannick Ngakoue might be a good re-sign.
The Yannick stuff has just died.
It's just
I
going
haven't
to
heard
the
about
wayside.
Yannick.
It's going to the wayside. Yeah. It's kind of
Where is he? Like, didn't he visit like the Dolphins, and then that was just like the end
that was
of
it? Yeah, that was it. Yeah,
like,
I don't know. He's just
I was
sitting
in
on the couch
Miami.
somewhere.
I just saw him.
He's waiting for a call. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what's going on with him. But I mean, like I said yesterday, we were talking about this. I feel like it's not out of desperation anymore. It is a luxury. So if we were to get anybody added, mostly to the edge, to the defensive line, great. If we added maybe another piece to the offensive line, even though I don't really think there's anybody out there at this point, okay, great. But as if we stand pat, I'm fine with the team going into the season because next year we're going to have a slew of picks that are going to be talented picks, on the defensive end, a lot of edge rushers in the first round. So we got 2 second-round picks. I mean, we're going to have a complete team here in the next couple of years, so I'm not worried about the progress.
It's so funny because it's like I like how AJ said that today's problems might not be tomorrow's problems. But there are still problems today. And so I think the thing that I would love to know, and we probably never will, but like be one of the teams. You know what I mean? Like
be one of the teams that make the
be
call.
One of the teams that make the call.
Yeah.
See what it's going to cost you. See what is going to, what it's going to be to get a guy like that out of there. Because if you can add a guy like Hassan Reddick, where, you got to pay him, right? And everybody's sitting there and they're like, why would you ever pay him? No, you ever notice it's always, why would you pay a guy like that until he's on your team getting 16 sacks? And then you're like, oh, well,
that's why we pay him.
You got to pay some guys. You know what I mean? Nobody has a problem with Montez Sweat getting his bag after he has 6 more sacks, but everybody had, like that's just me. But I think that if you make the call, if you try to make an offer, if you say this is something that we need, which Ryan Poles is, he acknowledges some of the holes that are on the team. He acknowledges that things are there that do still need to be addressed. But I think he also acknowledges that I'm not willing to mortgage the future of this team to go out there and just plug a hole at all costs. And we sit here, I mean, let's be real. We sit here and we do these, trade videos, and you got to ask the questions, right? Would you go out and get a guy like this? Would you add this piece? What could this guy be for the team? Like, you have to do those videos. Yeah. How many of those guys has Ryan Poles gone out and got?
None of them. I don't know. None of them, actually.
Well, in the recent ones, none of them.
Well, we missed out on a few.
I did the Claypool one.
You're talking about
I did the Claypool.
Yeah, he did the Claypool. Yeah. I'm saying recently, like the last, 4 months?
You mean like the Danielle Hunter? What is the other guy?
The Danielle Hunter. Even Yannick Ngakoue was a name that was like, this guy's got to be there, right? Like, we're talking Matthew Judon. We're talking Hassan Reddick. When you go back at the trade deadline, right? We were talking about trading for Danielle Hunter. We end up going out and getting Montez Sweat, Chris Jones. Would he be in it? We do all of these videos, but how many times do we see them do it? It's not Ryan Poles' MO.
Yeah.
But, I mean, to his credit, we have heard the reports that they made the calls, which, I mean, that goes to your point. A name popped up, seemed like it could fill a great need on the team. Ryan looked into it. Maybe the price wasn't what he wanted, this, that, and the other. That's a whole different story. Obviously, it didn't work out. But like you said, he's not afraid to make the calls. Yeah. I really like what Ryan has put together. Like, I really trust what he's done and his plan for the future. And like I mean, this is the first time we've actually done it. I mean, you've said this. Well, you've been watching this since you were 6. Like, this is the first time we've actually done a full rebuild, according to you.
Yes,
I wouldn't know.
This is the first time ever we've done a full rebuild. Like we were like, now we've sucked. But we just sucked because we sucked.
But to do a full...
it wasn't because we were trying to. We just were bad.
So, like, I know it can happen fast in football, but let's be for real. How many teams have gone through a full rebuild like this and been in this position now? Generational talent, potentially at QB. You load them with a bunch of talented wide receivers. You have a decent line. We have a top 5 defense. Yeah, How many people have gone through a rebuild and come out with those type of situations?
Niners.
Oh yeah.
Although Niners have always kind of been good.
They've always been
Niners
good.
have always kind of been good, but they were mediocre for a while. They bottomed out for 2 years, and they were right back in the mix. They fleeced some guys and stuff like that. Post what's his name? Post Harbaugh.
Out of 30 teams, you name one. Not just to you, but it's just like it goes to show how hard it is.
I think here's the thing. The example is who we played in week 1 of preseason. The Houston Texans bottomed out. The Houston Texans bottomed out. You had one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL.
Yeah.
It didn't work out because of, whatever reasons. That one, they didn't want to pay him at first. And then it was like everything pops up with all the off the field stuff. All right, we trading them. We getting rid of them. You tear it down. We getting rid of, J.J. Watt's gone. We going to move on from all of that. Now you look at that defense. That defense is disgusting.
Crazy.
Am I tripping, or didn't they get Stroud and all those boys off of that same game where we got the number 1 pick when Lovey won the game against the Indianapolis Colts, right? Wasn't that a product of all of that too?
Yeah.
Okay. I thought that was.
Well, the Deshaun Watson trade.
It was a product of. It was a product of.
The picks from Watson.
It was a product of that mug freaking going. Yeah, Bryce Young is the best quarterback in this draft, and then the Colts going. Anthony Richardson.
Like, what?
Hey, if anybody dropped the ball.
Hold on. Let me look at that draft. I might be wrong on that. Was CJ 2?
CJ was 2 after Bryce.
Was 1, CJ was 2.
And Anthony was after him.
Anthony was 3.
Bro, that's nuts.
Was Anthony 3? Anthony was 3.
Anthony was. Wait a minute.
Anthony was. I think he was 4 or 5.
No, I think it was 3.
That's still nuts to me. Anthony Richardson was 3 if he was 3.
I'm trying to think who.
What was that? 2021 draft. It was last season. It's crazy how, like, you sit there and do all of that, and then you absolutely just put it all out of your mind. 2021 draft. Nope, wrong one.
22.
What year are we in?
22
no,
draft.
23, boys.
No.
That was last year.
CJ's a rookie.
That was the last year.
CJ was a rookie.
2023 draft. Bryce Young, CJ Stroud, Will Anderson went because they got back to back. That's right. They made a trade. They got back to back. CJ Stroud, Will Anderson, Richardson went 4. Who else they get? They were on the board again. We got Darnell Rain. I love that guy. He's a phenomenal player.
Phenomenal guy.
Right, because that was when we traded with Philly for Jalen Carter.
I'm trying to see.
Jalen Carter was
Minnesota.
But even still, like, you look at this, you say Houston, you say 49ers historically.
Yeah.
It's slim pickings. We have to really put some thought into what people, into this to say, hey, these teams have done what Poles have done. Yeah. We have to really put some thought into it. So with that being the case, I mean, listen, we're like year 3, 4 in the rebuild.
Year 3.
Year 3 in a
Year 3.
rebuild. Going into year 3.
You're in a great situation. Listen, I don't begrudge Poles for the situation that he's put the team in. I do think he's built it backwards, but I don't begrudge Poles for the situation that he has put the team in. I think that my point in bringing up like the Houstons and the teams that we've seen do that is look at how much of an impact finding the right player makes. What? Get chill.
What is
Look
going
at
on?
it. There was a fly there. I swear it was. It was
And
a
I'll be
net.
honest with you,
It was a net. Nobody ever sees the net.
No, we don't see
You
the
be
net.
swinging at the net. Nobody ever sees the net. What is that? What the?
Like, this
Wow, this dude's nuts.
And to me, I'm gonna be honest with you, to make the move for the quarterback when half the world was like, keep Fields. To make the move for Caleb, to make the move to get weapons around him, to not take the second haul and everything like that. It's a lot of pressure. He did a great job.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, I'm sorry. It's been a minute, but we're over 200.
Over 200 in the chat. 200. You're hitting the wrong button there, my God. Not praise. Praise in the 200.
I'm like, what sound is that?
own.
Let's do his own thing. Okay, listen.
Come back, Joe.
Hey, it's your show. No. It's your show. That's your sound. That's what you rock with, baby.
That was nuts. But no, like I think that it goes to finding the right pieces. It goes to finding the right players and putting them in a position to be successful. You saw that with CJ Stroud. Even look at how much because out of that draft, even look at how much they were willing to listen to their quarterback the second he got in the building.
Oh,
hey,
yeah.
Go get me Tank Dell.
Yeah.
Y'all get me Tank Dell. We can win now.
And Bears did the same thing.
Yeah.
I'm going to go get, let's go get DJ Moore. Let's go get Ken. Let's surround these guys with talent. And I think that is the thing that I love about how Ryan Poles has done this is it has been even not just even with the players, but even with the coaching staff. It has been we're going to make this difficult for you to fail because with this season, we're going to put a bunch of dudes around you that all know how to do their job really well. Mm-hmm. You add I was watching Keenan Allen practice today. I literally was sitting there like, he's making practice difficult for himself.
Maybe.
Like he's doing things to make practice harder. Like when they threw QC6, get that man off the ones and twos. Where's Joel at?
With the YI order.
But no, like when Caleb threw a pass to Keenan, and he like one hand catches it, like turning himself. And I'm like, he's just making stuff more difficult for himself. What are you doing?
Dog,
what are you doing? What's going on here?
Fix the chair.
What's going on?
Shut up.
That sugar is kicking your butt.
Listen, a little hydraulic action. That's all it is. A little hydraulic action. I can do the show like this. I'm Ringo now.
What a shot. What a shot. That's nuts.
I love you, boy. I love you.
But no, I mean, listen, at the end of the day, I think that Ryan Poles has done a really good job building this thing. And I think, like you said, I think that he's confident in heading into the season, risking it with the young guys. I think he's confident heading into the season, risking it with the offensive line that he's built because of the quarterback.
Yeah.
Can I add in an extra topic?
Sure.
Oh, boy. We just talked
about
the 88 season. Here we go. This is a 2-hour show, guys.
No.
It can't be.
This question, no, it ain't be. We got to finish it soon because he got to drive and I want to get home too. All right, listen. So fantasy football is coming around the corner.
Oh, okay.
Here we go. No, this is great. Don't put out your first. I mean, don't give me your whole strategy. But Chad, I want to know: are you taking Caleb first round?
No. But, I really don't take quarterbacks in the first round.
I got
the first overall pick, too.
Oh, look at
you.
You
should take
Caleb
the first
you know who you
pick.
taking.
Hey,
it's got to be Patty Mahomes.
And here's why I
take Pat Mahomes.
The league is different.
Why?
Everybody be like, don't take your quarterbacks first. That's stupid. There's certain quarterbacks you absolutely take first.
Have at it.
Like, listen, whatever. I definitely want when I pick my QB first anyway. I know what he's going to do.
He's the guy that sends off the run. He's the guy that throws everything off.
Are you going to repeat the top 100 list and take Tyreek first?
Yeah, no, for sure.
I knew.
Only because CMC's already hurt.
Oh,
CMC's already hurt.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't he take Tyreek?
Well, because CMC was the fantasy point leader. But
no,
you know what I mean? Like, it's dangerous. No, there's not a lot of I'm Caleb Williams in this draft. You know what I mean? I don't know what we're gonna do, but tell you what, I really like that Miami guy. I've really been down in Miami. I saw Yannick Ngakoue down there outside the building. You know what I mean? Like,
I was waiting for a call. Jeez.
Hey, but for context, we have a league where we have an extra flex position with the QB. So we have a dual QB.
Shout out my boy.
That's Joel's
What up,
league,
Marcus?
yeah.
So because it's a dual QB league, you actually have to take a QB early.
You do got to take a quarterback earlier,
or you won't get one.
Yeah.
And that actually matters just as much as getting a good running back or anything like that.
In Joe's league, I might take a quarterback early, but I don't know yet.
So in Joe's league, I'm taking a quarterback. If Caleb's there, I'm taking him.
Oh, you risking it with the rook?
I'm risking it with the
rook.
I'm taking. If he's there, I'm taking. You want to know why? I do believe.
You like what you saw in those 4 passes.
It was 7.
It was 7.
He completed 4 of them.
Yeah, 2 were not
2
on them. 2 drops. 2 drops.
One was a bad throw.
Right. Yeah, the one was bad. You're right.
I'm giving him 6 out of 7 in my opinion. You got to catch the ball, baby.
You're right.
You got to catch that goddamn rock. It's Caleb. Anyway, here's the reason why I'm doing it. It's not just what he did with his arm, but it's also what he did with his legs. We saw him with a nice game with his legs. Look good, look comfortable, got out there. I think he's going to be able to put up some decent numbers as a rook. And if you remember CJ Stroud, what was he on the chart for point getters?
No clue.
He actually had a really good one. Him and Tank.
You talking about his mobility or just overall?
No, just his point total in fantasy.
Oh,
and I actually had Tank Dale last year,
yeah,
and he put up a lot of numbers too. So it's like you really get to. You might actually be able to do something because again, it's not just Caleb. It's also when do you grab DJ Moore? When you grab
strategy involved, I feel like Caleb could be there at the end of the first round.
I won't be grabbing DJ Moore, but y'all know.
Really? The hate for DJ.
Oh, there's no hate for DJ. I just said I'm getting Tyreek in the first pick.
It's better players out there.
I mean, listen, that's your first
276 fantasy points last year. I feel like that's wrong.
Nah, that's right.
Who are we talking about?
CJ.
Oh, okay.
Well, maybe.
For a quarterback, that's not bad.
Fantasy points.
You say you should change your other flex position. This is not our league. This is Joe's league. Joe's not here to defend himself. I'm not.
I don't play the 2 quarterback.
But he plays 2 QBs.
I'm not a fan of the 2 QB, but I like playing with Joel.
Yeah.
I like playing with Joel. And the point totals are pretty high.
And Joel got like the defense in there and all that.
Yeah, that's how I do it. I do IDP, full on defense.
I'm all right.
That mess is fun.
But
it makes you watch the entire game.
It makes you watch the whole game anyway.
Yeah, but I mean in more detail, like you want the guy like the linebacker to like get the tackle if you need a few more points, like off of a.
So I guess the real question is now: how many Bears are going to make the top 100 on the point total? Does Rome crack that list?
No,
I know
Rome's not going to crack. I don't think so.
I don't think so. Does Keenan crack?
I don't even know who the top 100 point getters were last year. So, I DJ probably already did crack it. And Khalil Herbert probably not because he missed a bunch of games.
I mean, if you're playing IDP, TJ Edwards was really good for me last year.
Yeah, I was going to say TJ Edwards probably is, as far as defensive players, was in the top. Yeah, I mean, how many running backs does Joe give? You can have as many as you want. You know how Joe is.
I want Bijan.
But no, how many? I mean, it's a flex. It's an extra QB flex position. So realistically speaking, you can have 2 running backs if you want.
You can.
But it's more beneficial for you to have.
You have 3 running backs.
2 quarterbacks. Is it 2 running backs?
It's 3. It's with the flex position, you got 3.
Yeah, but it's more beneficial for you to have 2 quarterbacks.
Okay. I don't know. We'll see.
I know everyone's not trying to answer the question because they want to give up their strategy, but it's like I don't care. Like,
well, nobody follows your strategy, dog. Like nobody else is drafting a quarterback in the first round except you.
I'll be honest with you. It's tight ends and receivers for me. Tight ends and receivers. We have a tight end spot. It's not just flex. It's a tight end spot. So you have to pick a tight end, and there's only so many really good ones.
Yeah.
I'll put a name out there. I'll just put a name out there because I think he's going to be better than what he was before because of the quarterback play. Kyle Pitts finally has. And
Kyle Pitts with Kurt
Cobain.
Kyle Pitts going to use Kirko.
Yeah. So we'll see with that.
I mean, like, here's the thing. My strategy may be but it's literally going in line with what some people are saying is the trend in the NFL. Your QBs are racking up more points than they ever have. They're more mobile QBs. There are also a lot of players who get a lot of yaks.
I mean, if you get a dual threat quarterback who scores a lot of touchdowns, that usually makes sense to go with that.
What's the prototype of the QB coming out now? Dual threat quarterback.
Yeah, but I'm talking about a dual threat like Lamar Jackson. There's not many of those in the league. Like where you're getting 26 passing touchdowns, you're getting another 14 rushing touchdowns or whatever. Yeah, I mean, like those are the kind of dual threat QBs that I think are worth taking early, worth taking as first round picks, because those are guys that you're gonna continuously get points with.
You know who I'm never taking again? Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow got me absolutely nothing.
Well, that's because he got hurt.
He got hurt, but even still, got me absolutely nothing. He got killed most of the time too.
Yeah, it's because he got hurt.
So because he's not mobile, you don't get those points.
The Bears 85 said, did y'all see Cole Kmet has his own show on CSU? First episode dropped today. Had DJ on. They talked about the drops. Yeah, I did see that. That was nice. It was a nice little
85
show.
podcast.
Yeah, nice little show. The 85 podcast. Nice little show. I like that. I like that. A little insight into the locker room. I'm not mad at it. Yeah. Shout out CSG.
Is it
shout
good?
out Hogue and all that.
Yeah, it wasn't bad.
Yeah,
or is it like
it's two players talking?
Is it like no? But sometimes the players podcast can be like dry, but you just don't have that insight, so you glued to it. But
I mean, they're not talking.
I mean, I wasn't sitting there dying laughing at the podcast. Yeah. But it's a football podcast, so I with the players talking, so I was good.
DJ has that quiet humor. He always comes off to me like he's
DJ got the office humor.
Yes,
that's
DJ
has
the
the
perfect way
office
to
humor.
put it.
I swear, DJ. Yeah. I guarantee you, DJ is like one of those guys, and I'll do this where you look off into an imaginary camera that is not there, where you just be somebody say something stupid and you just.
It's like cameras over here.
Yeah, bro. Like I do that all the time, bro. So I get that from DJ. I definitely get that from DJ.
Yeah, no.
He just seems weird to me, but that's okay. Like a good weird.
It's a dry humor. It's a dry humor, but it's funny to me.
Napoleon Dynamite weird.
Gosh, freaking idiot.
That's what he gives me.
Hey, man, hit that like button, subscribe to the page, leave a 5-star review. Y'all know what to do. Let's finish out the show. I'm going to finish out the show with something since we just got random there. Never let kids.
I mean, we went through all the topics.
Never let kid have candy. No.
Because of this guy.
So did y'all see the clip that they put out of Keenan Allen? We're talking about how he always drops something against Jalen Johnson.
Oh, yeah. He won his get back or something like
that? He won his get back, right? They put that out. They put that out as a clip for Hard Knocks tonight. I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. I was a little salty because that was Keenan answering my question. So I thought I made Hard Knocks, but they cut Pat Finley's question, who also was about Keenan and Jalen, and they pasted that in together with Keenan's response. Didn't get my. I was a little salty on that. I ain't gonna lie to you.
So you thought you was gonna hear yourself?
No, I thought I was on Hard Knocks. Hey, even if it's just my voice on Hard Knocks, that was me, and I'm sharing it. You know what I mean?
Hey, it might be another chance, right? We got how many more?
Oh, listen, I'm not that upset about it. I'm not that broken up, but I was a little. Yeah, I mean, it was a part of me where I saw the response because all they had on the clip was like, I haven't gotten a catch off of them yet, and I was like, oh, I asked that question. I'm on Hard Knocks tonight, Mama, I made it. And then I clicked on it, and it was like Pat Finley asking the question. I was like, you got it.
Hey, but that's just was that just a trailer? Or was that the actual clip?
I think it's a clip from the show. It's a clip that's cut together from the show.
You might see yourself there.
I'm not that. I'm not that broke up about it. I'm not that broke up about it.
Hey, listen. Hey,
maybe I get another question in there.
He's saying this now, but watch him hear himself, and he's gonna be like, "I'm on Hard Knocks."
I'm gonna be hyped, bro.
Every press conference now, you average about 1 or 2, right? Or 1.
I mean, it depends on who in there. Like, I ain't gonna lie to you. Today, it was Coach Washington, who I was gonna get a question in Coach Washington, but I was like, I really don't need to know the answer to this. I asked Braxton a question today. Okay. I was gonna ask Dom Rob a question, but I'm not gonna lie to you, bro. Herb came out with do you see the mortality of yourself on this team?
Whoa.
He was like, hey, boy, it's a legitimate question.
Wait, you were basically saying, do
you recognize the fact that you're probably not gonna make this team?
That's
straightforward.
Very straightforward. And Don was like, yeah. Like you have no choice. It's a business. It's football. So you got to find a way to make it. But it was just like,
it's a hard way to lead off, though.
Once he said, hey, look, that was the lead off. So once he said that, I was just like, I'm gonna let him have it. I don't have nothing to even throw up in here. I was gonna sit there and try and talk about the play that he made a tackle on. Was that like vindication? But you know what? We gonna get through this press conference right quick.
So how does that work out when it's press conference? Do you already know who's gonna be at the podium, and you try to formulate your questions in advance, or they just show up and you be like, all right, let me see?
I think a good reporter does, but I'm not a reporter, so I'm not a reporter. I go up there so that I can see it with my own eyes and I can formulate my own opinions. I am a podcaster, I'm a talk show host, all of that, but I'm not a reporter. I'm not sitting here breaking news, sitting there going, oh, well, latest thing that we saw. And I don't do the tweets. Y'all notice I don't do the breaking news tweets.
Right.
I don't do none of that stuff. I retweet some stuff unless I see something crazy, or I'll tweet out like a good play. But
I don't think I've ever wanted to be that type of reporter.
I don't want to be a reporter. Like I'm not gonna lie to you, and it's no disrespect to any of the reporters. I think that they do a phenomenal job. I think that they ask the questions that you have to ask, but how you have to do the job, to me,
inhumane.
It does. It feels that way to me.
It feels real.
When I was in the locker room and you see that scrum around them, now it's how they do their job. You got to do it. But as somebody with anxiety, it's like I'm gonna need y'all to give me a foot and a half. Like y'all got to step back. It's a lot of breathing going on. I don't want nobody to stop.
I just got off the field or practice, whatever, and you like right there. Listen, I ain't even dry yet. Can I even like? Nah. Like seriously, like
some of them legit be like, you gonna ask me these questions? You gonna ask me these questions with the thing out? So here we go.
Hey-o.
Keep the cameras high.
Nope. I can't do it.
Yeah,
I would feel very. I don't think you can build good relationships with people that way, and I think some of the best tandems we've seen where people were able to build good relationships with the players that they interview. I just don't see that as being a way to do it.
Well, you get the one,
and I know you can.
Yeah,
don't get me wrong.
You get people who talk to them one-on-one and stuff like that. So it's not all of that, but it's just weird to me.
I don't like it.
You know what I mean? It's just weird to me. V-Dog said it's the same way in the NBA. Yeah,
it's the same way everywhere. I don't like it.
And that's why I say I'm not a reporter. So like to me, when I see the names up there, I'm like, oh, cool, we got these names. I come up with my questions off the cuff. They literally are just questions that I have.
My man.
Like, it's not,
that's real.
It's just like, I saw this today. I want to know the answer to this thing. And
let me ask you.
Like, let me ask you, you know what I mean? Like, I don't sit there. Like, I think that, like, the Courtney Cronins and the Muzz that are, like, reporters, they beat reporters, they're really good at their job. She probably has her questions somewhat thought out when she sees the names early on, but it's just not, it's not how I go about it. You know what I mean? And maybe they don't. Maybe everybody's different. But no, it's always weird to me when it's just.
Yeah, no, I can't do it.
Yeah, the locker room is a different.
Hey, man, can I see you outside fully clothed, maybe walking?
I don't mind that. I ain't gonna lie to you. I don't mind that. You just got to be mentally prepared for it.
Yeah.
I mean,
you got to be mentally prepared to keep the eyes high. I mean, we had this problem last year when I was in the locker room.
We've gone to LA Fitness, and I've gone to LA Fitness, and
that's not the part that gets me. I'm cool with that. I'm not cool with like that being the job. Like it just feels invasive. I don't like it. I don't like being in people's personal space like that.
But I think they're used to it too, because that's part of the deal.
Yeah, the players are used to it. That comes from making 10 M's a year.
Yeah.
They know what to expect. I can deal with some M's, I can deal with some invasiveness if I'm making $40 million a year. You know what I mean?
I'm making 10 M's, but I got to be naked sometimes having an interview. I got you.
But guess what? You're not gonna make me uncomfortable. I'm gonna make you uncomfortable. So I'm gonna have it out. You got to deal with that. Keep your eyes high, baby.
Eyes high.
Or check it out. Whatever you want to do. Sometimes you got to put it on the table.
Oh boy! Hey, real quick, last thing, because we had a super chat a while ago, and it wasn't answered. I put it up, but. What are we doing with this 2K thing, man? Are we putting that to the side for now, or what are we doing?
I would think the 2K thing is going to happen probably this Friday.
It has to happen on a Friday.
Oh, it has to happen on a Friday, yeah. Probably we'll end up doing a long stream over the next couple of weeks. I would say, well, I know the last week, the last week of the year, the last week of the month, I should say, I'll be in Florida the whole week, Monday through Saturday.
Okay.
So, but that week after that, right before the Bears start, maybe we get it in there.
All right.
So I think that's a good time to do it.
Because
at that point, we're going to be 2 weeks in trying to talk about what do we want to see from the Chicago Bears. I want to see them play. Like, I'm tired.
Facts.
Hey, man, appreciate y'all for tuning in and showing love. Hit that like button, subscribe to the page, leave a 5-star review. Y'all know what to do. For the pettiest man alive, Mr. P Kid, and of course, Mr. Media himself, Jordan JC. It's your boy, Pat the Designer, back at it again. Y'all stay safe out there, Chicago. Bear down, one love. Tap in for Hard Knocks. And of course, make sure to tune in for the Morning Breeze tomorrow, where we're going to be reacting to those nice knocks.
The Bears.
The Bears.
Nice.